Good morning, lovely lot. It's been a while. New Year, 2026. So, happy New Year to everyone. Yes, happy New Year. So I'm just trying to think. And hopefully you had a good Christmas and happy New Year and everything else. Cool. So, back onto the RX5. It's been a while. Weather's been horrendous. And yeah, it's been rubbish weather, but luckily yesterday, some nice weather, did some stuff in the Crown. The Crown's now getting some love, which is good. And Friday, I managed to pick something up, which I've been meaning to get hold of for a while now. And without it, I can't really do much more with the RX5. So now I've got that. So, take you outside to the garage, we'll have a look at that. Mind you, garage is an absolute shithole. I need to go through. Everything's just been chucked in there. I need to clear it out, chuck a load of stuff. I've had containers leak for no reason at all, which I'm annoyed about. The set of drawers in there just collapsed. Everything fell out of that when I fucking pulled the drawer out. So that's all on the floor. And then one side semi-clean up, and I've got loads of nuts and bolts on the floor which need to be cleaned up. So at some point in the week, I'm going to start sorting all that out. Anyway, so last off you saw, obviously, I've got the new old stock irons and housings. Which I'm thinking they're not new old stock. I think they're just refurbished and surfaced. I think one of them might be though. So yeah, there's this, which obviously, if you watched before, I got hold of a FD intake manifold, designed up an adapter to go to the early 13B housings, early 13B or 12A irons with the housings, so I can run this. I just need to get it machined up at some point, and then I can put the injector holes in there. And I was in two minds of, you might be wondering what this plastic is, I was in two minds of what to do to the top side, because FD owners seem to love to break these in half, even though they're both with an intake. They break them in half, sell this like 200, 300 quid, which is a pain in the ass. Luckily I've got this 100 quid. And then the top half, 4, 5, 600 quid, which is insane, but luckily I've managed to get hold of the top half for only 100 and something quid. Happy days, from Japan, which Mitch is sorting out. But it's an absolute joke. Why? Ridiculous. So, before, I was actually going to make up an adapter to run a blacktop. The blacktop ITBs that I modified ages ago with the GTI Pulsar Blenheim. I was going to make an adapter up to run them, but to be honest, get the intake adapter metal 3D print, it was actually going to cost more than the top half anyway, so I'm just going to go on top half. So, sadly, that's the route. It would have been cool, ITBs and rotary and turbo, but yeah. And I also got myself a nice, very big 3D printer. Elegoo Neptune 4 Max, which insane, absolutely insane on the quality, the print, everything. Can't fault it. I need to get doing more stuff with this. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So yeah, intake top size coming. I'm probably going to go with a drive-by-wire and have a drive-by-wire throttle body, 70-80mm Bosch drive-by-wire throttle body to go on there as well, instead of running cable. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, I came in here for this because I'm hoping today I'm going to assemble up the engine, have a look where it's going to look and mount position-wise with this. Then, nice big flat bar still, which I can actually start using to make up the engine mount. I am just going to hard mount the engine for now. I'm going to get it in position where I want it to be, weld that, drill the holes, everything else, and a later date do bushes. But yes, this with gearbox and engine, I can actually see the sort of position that I want to get this in. Can I just take this outside? As much as I don't want to take it outside and get it dirty and oily, I don't need to. I guess I can clean it again anyway, so that's fine. And go from there. Otherwise, this room needs a clean anyway. Coming back to where we left off. So, obviously, subframe, trimmed a lot out of the subframe here, as well as even this plate here. I started doing this side and then gave up. Probably got tired, fed up, cold, whatever. Injectors have been removed. I cleaned them up. They're now actually in the Toyota Crown with another 2 sets. So, nice set of 540s in the Crown. All these fuel lines need to go, because what I'm going to do is pull out all the fuel lines, and we're going to have a regulator by a fuel tank, which will then have a single line that comes up to the front, probably through one of here and across. So all this needs to be pulled out. I'm literally just looking. I'm going to pull this straight in a sec. I have a look where it's going to sit, and to be honest, I might actually just go in straight with welding the bar and the front cover into position, because I got to do a custom prop anyway. I'll show you that in a sec. So I'm hoping to have the front cover sit about here, so the front iron's here, which should then avoid all the sun. We should then bring the back of the engine to about here. I'm going to measure that up in a sec, but because of how I'm going with this, with the gearbox and the engine and the prop, it means that the engine I can sit at any height. Again, mind all the mess in here because been busy and fucking shit anyway. So, gearbox, yes, RX8 5-speed, which is actually considerably narrower than the 6-speed box there. Narrower and shorter. This is actually rather easy to remove, but they are stronger. So the fact I'm running this, I was hoping I could run a Mark III MX5 prop shaft because it would bolt to the diff of that and then slide in this. Turns out not. Annoyingly, Mazda did the shitty thing of mix them all up. So luckily, while I was grabbing this gearbox, I grabbed the prop shaft for it as well. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut the end off that, weld it to the MX5 stock prop shaft, and then it'll fit this. But that does mean I can position this in any way, shape or form because I can do the custom length on the prop shaft to match it. So, and yes, obviously we are deleting the PPF, so that doesn't matter. So when it comes to it, I could do the engine mount and gearbox mount in any position I want, which is going to give me more flexibility on mounting it into the car. But while I'm in here, pull them out, assemble the engine lightly, see where it sits, see what we can sit with, and see where the gearbox is going to sit, or an idea of it, and then I'll just get straight in with welding up the front engine mount, and then I can deal with a removal way of it at a later date. Okay, so obviously engine assembled now. I'm trying to find the sort of correct position for this to go in. Obviously the front engine mount cover in place. It's a bit difficult. Trying to get it higher up is we're going to have issues with this part here on the bulkhead, which I don't want to be cutting this at all. So the only thought is I rotate it down and then just consider and remember the fact of as long as the input and output shaft are parallel to each other, then we shouldn't have any prop shaft issues. But I think this is about the position where you're going to be in, to be honest. And it gives me more clearance on the sump as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out, notch off that corner so I can get the thing to sit steadily there, and then have a look at start making up the engine mount just to get that welded up into place. and then I've got a place to start from. It's just starting to rain, fucking mint. So yeah. I had to pop out for a sec, but the last you saw, I was obviously doing a load of cutting, which I did, hanging around trying to get the engine in a sort of position I was happy with, which I've now got it there. So I'll show you what I've just done. Either way, engine mount's almost done. Starting off with, obviously I've cut this corner out to accommodate for the oil bracket, as well as a few other little bits. That I will clear it up and plate, because what I'm going to do is clear up, cut this edge all the way up and across, and do the same with this side. I'll do that later though. But coming down here, I've actually used, because I don't like wasting material, I actually used the old exhaust plates I had, got them in a sort of position I was happy with, tacked them both in, and made sure they're in line almost at that point. Then obviously cut a bit of plate, which that slides perfectly in there. I just chucked it in there, but that's a bit better than it was. But yeah, now I've just scribed the exact line there and there, and I know this is the same thickness as what this is, so I'm going to obviously do the 4-bolt holes, scribe those lines, but also slot them a little bit so there's a little bit of play left or right, and then that's engine mount done. And I can just weld that into place, and at some point I will make a proper little engine mount with bushings either side, but that'll do for now. Then that means I can then get the front cover bolted to this engine, get the engine there, get the gearbox in, bolt that up, jack it up, bolt in front, and then I can do the gearbox mount. Once the gearbox mount's done, I can then do the drive shaft. And then that's the drive line and engine done, pretty much. And the next part is then starting on the exhaust manifold, because obviously I'm running a massive GT45 turbo, so that's going to probably sit, I want to say about here. I'm trying to get it sit about here. Whether or not I'm going to be able to notch that and get it through that gap, or I'm just going to have to go side or hood exit, I don't know. I was going to try and bring it around to this side, but with the coil packs and stuff there as well, I don't think that's going to happen in any way, shape or form. As well, I've got the starter down there, so we'll have to see how that goes. Might be a way I could probably notch a bit out the trans tunnel something there and try and get it through, but I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, and then that's also going to give us more than sufficient enough clearance for the subframe. So the sump, I should just be able to run an RX5 sump, and I'll be more than happy with that. But yeah, gearbox wise, I'm going to take this front cover off, because I'm not worried about someone nicking the engine, but the front cover I don't care. I'm probably actually going to, well no, I need to take the engine out because I need the jack in a sec. Unless I drop in away, the engine sits in there, probably do that. Yes, gearbox wise. Yeah, obviously running the RX5 5-speed gearbox, which move that over. This is what I like about this gearbox, is how narrow they are compared to them. They're quite rounded. And again, the bow housing really slight, where this is really compact. So happy days. Can't wait for this. I think this is actually might be shorter and longer. I don't know actually. I can't be bothered me with that one. They should make it miles easier to get into the car as well. So yeah. Once the engine mount's done, I'll put the engine in there, climb underneath, mount the gearbox to it, hopefully have someone give me a hand, lift the gearbox up into position enough to get the engine mount in, or bolts in to almost fully tight. Then I can position this perfectly central or straight, and start looking at doing the engine mount, the gearbox mount, sorry. Then we'll go from that, and then after that is custom prop shaft, so mint. But yeah. Now hopefully have that sat somewhere about there, or shit, actually it's going to be interesting. Probably going to have it sat about there. Oh my god, this is going to be mental. Oh. So I completely forgot to finish off the video earlier, but yeah, a bit of a, not, I don't know, good 25-minute video, just editing it now, to get going back on the project and to start the year off. Not too bad, so hopefully you enjoyed me doing not actually that much in a video, funnily enough. But no, back to it. So make sure you are subscribed. Leave a comment. Instagram, go follow that. That's the best place to view 99% of the stuff I do anyway. And other than that, hopefully next weekend, engine in with the mounts and the gearbox mounted, and probably even the prop shaft in, as well as